I found arguably probably the best deal I've ever found for a Lego set, so stay tuned to find out what I found. Hey YouTube, it's Mandak, coming at you guys with another video here. So welcome into haul video number 143. So as you can see here, my background has changed slightly. I did add some Lego sets here in the top left, I guess, of the screen for you to take a look at, or I guess top right. I'm not sure. I guess it's gonna switch when I post this video, but anyways, yeah, I've just been doing some rearranging here, been putting some Lego sets in certain spots, so hope it enhances your viewership there, but not sure who actually pays attention to the background or not. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another haul video. So as I mentioned, I did go ahead and get one of probably the best deals I've ever had or I've ever found for a Lego set. So I'll show that in the Lego section, and I do have a couple of IST orders, as well as some other orders that I've made from other places that I'll explain for comics. No trading cards this week, unfortunately. I am on the lookout, though, for the other EX battle deck that I've been looking for, but aside from that, really nothing else. So there's that, but yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. At the time of this recording, my fiance and I actually just got back from the movies. We went and saw Oppenheimer and Barbie in the same day. So we watched Oppenheimer at 10 a.m. and that movie finished up around 1. We got lunch, and then afterwards we went and saw Barbie at 2:30, and we're home now, and it's around 5 o'clock. So yeah, it's been a pretty fun day at the movies. Yeah, I know it's kind of like a meme that people were talking about, you know, going to see both films in one day, and we were talking about it, and we both decided to do it. So I guess quick reviews of the films. They were both really great. Obviously very different sides of the spectrum when it comes to you know, just overall subjects and like themes and audience and everything, but I thought it was really good. Oppenheimer was very, very good. The acting was superb. The cinematography was amazing. Arguably Christopher Nolan's best film yet. Yeah, the acting was really good. There was very few things that were bad about that film. Definitely see it winning a couple Oscars at least, but we'll see. And then you know, Barbie was really fun too. Definitely had a lot of good jokes, and was definitely targeted to a more adult audience than me and my fiance anticipated. There were a lot of jokes that we just looked at each other and were like, wow, I can't believe they actually put that in a Barbie movie. But it was really good. Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, you know, definitely carried that film well. And yeah, I thought they were both really great films. So if you're curious about going out to see them, I would highly recommend both. So but yeah, so that's that. So we'll go ahead and get into these sections here, and we'll start as always with the comics. Alright guys, welcome into the comic book section here for this haul video. So before I get into this haul, I do want to talk about what I've been reading. So since the last haul video that I posted, I did go ahead and finish up the Sleeper Omnibus by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, and it was definitely a page turner towards the end, man. It was the last, like, I would say 12 issues or so were just so good. I really enjoyed the ending of the series. Again, I won't spoil it for anybody, but it was just so, it was a perfect culmination of kind of where I saw the series going. So I really, really enjoyed it. Very satisfying, a definite great addition to the overall Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips line of work. I wouldn't say it's their best, but then again, it's still very good. So, you know, I haven't read anything from them that was bad. So, if that's any indication there of my opinion of their work. But yeah, really, really fun, really, really good book to finish up there. And then I went back and jumped through some Champion stuff. Around, I guess, after Secret Wars, Marvel did go ahead and relaunch the Champions line of books. I did get the first 2 trades like a while back, I think at like a Books A Million or something. So I did read those a while back and then just never made it a point to find the other ones. And last year at Fan Expo Con, I think I found Avengers, Champions, Worlds Collide, and then volumes 3 and 4 of the series, which I picked up, and those are the books I read. So the Worlds Collide book was pretty cool. It was a story with the High Evolutionary and the Avengers and the Champions teaming up. Mark Waid, I believe, wrote most of that series. It was all right. It was kind of fun. And then we get into volumes 3 and 4, which focus a lot more on Vision, and obviously Vision, and kind of their dynamic. There's this whole plot line with her becoming a human and everything, and yeah, and then we get some kind of spin-off stuff, and then towards the end of volume 3 we get some stuff about Infinity War, or I guess Infinity War countdown or something, like Infinity Wars countdown. So it kind of ties into that, and I kind of understand where that's going because I recently read Infinity Wars. So I guess kind of just good timing there. And volume 4 does end on a cliffhanger here. We get Sam Alexander, who basically loses his Nova power. The Nova Corps takes it away from him, and that's kind of where we're left off. So naturally I went online to see if I can find volume 5 for a decent price, and surprise to nobody, it's out of print. So yeah, it kind of stinks to end on a cliffhanger like that and not find out what happens, but I think what I'll do is I'll try to be on the lookout for it somewhere, maybe at a con, or if I'm really hankering to find out how that series concludes, I can look it up online. But again, there's certain series that I just, I'm okay reading up to a certain point and just stepping away from the book. And then if I find the subsequent volumes later down the line at some point, great, I'll buy them. If not, I'm not going to stress about it. I'm very much like that with a lot of like new series now. I don't really like get too worked up about that stuff, but that's that, I guess. And then recently now I have jumped into Marvel 2-in-1. Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. Is it Marvel 2-in-1? Yeah, I think it's Marvel 2-in-1 Epic Collection, Cry Monster. I started that even though I am going to be traveling next week, because those books are very much like kind of independent stories. Obviously the connecting thread is the thing. He's kind of the main star in each of the issues, and he has different team ups with characters. So I've been reading that a little over halfway through the book, and that's just because I've actually skipped a couple issues because I've read them in other volumes of stuff. So there's 2 Marvel 2-in-1s that are related to the Guardians of the Galaxy, the original team, which I actually read in those volumes up there. So I skipped those, and then there was a Black Widow Marvel 2-in-1 issue that I read in her Marvel Team Up book. So I skipped that one too. So kind of make it up some ground there on that, but I'm really enjoying it. It's some classic Silver Age Marvel stuff. Steve Gerber is the main writer on a lot of that stuff. Really great art. Gil Kane, the Buscema brothers, John and Sal, both do some art and pencils on this in this series. So, I think it's a really fun pickup book. If you're just looking for some great Silver Age fun with the Thing, if you were a fan of the character, obviously I would suggest picking it up. I don't know if it's still in print. I don't think it is, but if you're curious, I would do it. I think that's the only Marvel 2-in-1 epic that they have published. I can't remember. I think there might be a solicitation for another one. I might be wrong there. I think I might have seen solicitations for another Marvel 2-in-1 epic, which would be awesome. It just gets to a point though with that book where I just feel like it definitely gets, like, a lot of those issues get plucked out and put into other, like, collections somewhere with, like, different characters. So that's, I guess, the reason why Marvel hasn't really been, like, adamant about getting printings of subsequent volumes for that. I think they are comfortable keeping it, unpublished, because, all those other issues you can find other places. So we'll see. I mean, I'm enjoying it so far, but that's kind of the plan there. And then I guess I should probably talk, I know this is a long intro, but I should probably talk about what I'm bringing with me on my flight to my trip for work. And I'm bringing all of Low by Rick Remender to read through, as well as another Black Widow series called No Restraints Play. It's a little mini series there from 2019. So just a kind of random reading here. Again, like I said before in other haul videos, my plan is to start Captain Marvel readathon in August. So I'm kind of just picking some smaller series to knock out here at the end of July before I jump into Captain Marvel, probably in about a week and a half or so. So I'll be doing that, and that should take me up at least to the end of October, if not sooner. I probably will finish it all sooner, but better to start earlier than later, I guess. But yeah, that's the plan. I know I've been talking about that for many haul videos here, but anyway, 7-minute intro aside, let's go ahead and get into these issues here. So again, like I said, a couple of IST orders here, and then also a book I got from Books A Million. So I have a little rant for that one. Not really a rant, but just a little bit of a backstory for that one. So we'll get to that. So the first collection here for the haul is the Avengers Volume 5 by Jason Aaron. So I've pretty much committed to the paperbacks for this, and I've been able to pick them up for a decent price. I don't think I paid more than like $5 or $6 for each of these, and this one's no exception. I got this for around $6 on IST because this was on a damage sale, and as far as I'm concerned, it's really not damaged aside from a little bit of denting on the top there, but that's really nothing to worry about there. This collects issues 22 through 25 of Avengers, the 2018 series, and then also all new Ghost Rider 2014 #1, which I think I read, so I can probably skip that series or that issue. But I do remember reading some of these issues as they came out. This series was running when I was doing the comic podcast with Vince and Mike over on Crackle Comics. So I do remember reading some of these issues, but obviously I haven't kept up with the Jason Aaron Avengers stuff, and obviously my plan is to eventually read it all through in one go, straight through. So, but yeah, this looks interesting, and kind of cool to get this for a pretty cheap price, especially since this paperback was originally going for $16, which it's definitely not worth that at all. So there's that. Moving on alphabetically here, picked up another book here that I wasn't even aware was being published until my friends told me about it. Actually, one of my friends ordered it on his DCBS haul, I guess. Yeah, that's what he ordered it from. So I went ahead and picked up IST, and I got it for a really decent price, and I gotta give Image credit for the prices on these. It's really cheap. And that is the Invincible Universe Compendium Volume 1, which obviously means to me that there's going to be subsequent volumes for this, so really excited for that. This collects issues of Invincible Presents Adam Eve numbers 1 through 2, Invincible Presents Adam Eve and Rick Explode numbers 1 through 3, Guarding the Globe numbers 1 through 6, Guarding the Globe Volume 2 numbers 1 through 6, and Invincible Universe numbers 1 through 12. So as I mentioned here on this channel, I did go ahead and read all of Invincible. I think, I want to say it was like November, December. So it's been about 7 or 8 months since I've read the series. I really enjoyed it. Anyone who's into comics, you need to read Invincible. It's kind of like required reading, honestly. It's so good. You can see the compendiums I have over here. Yeah, I felt very empty after finishing it. I wanted more, and I wasn't really aware of this stuff, and you know, obviously I wasn't really prepared to go and hunt down all the trades for these different characters, so getting it in a nice compendium, as you can see here, really great deal. This goes for cover for $40 for this much material, which I think is insane. I think this is like over 600 pages or something. So on IST I picked it up for like $23, which is a really, really good deal. So if you're into Invincible, you've read the series and you want some more background here, obviously this has, you know, issues featuring Adam Eve, who is, you know, Invincible's, love interest at a certain time, then eventually becomes his wife and, you know, the mother of his children. So I don't know if that's a spoiler, I guess. Maybe it is, probably is. So it's all right. This book's been out for a while. Also has Rexplode, which you can see here on the back. He's a recurring character as well. So, you know, I think it's really fun. I'm gonna really enjoy this, and I'm curious who writes this. I don't know if this. I would be curious if this is Kirk. Yeah, this is Robert Kirkman. For some of this, and I think we got another writer, Benito Sereno, as well as Phil Hester. Okay, so definitely a larger group of people on these books, but I don't doubt the quality of this for a second. I think this is still going to be some really good stuff. You can see here the arts, obviously different art going on here too, you know, so but still really, really good stuff. So neat, really fun to grab that. Definitely a good treat. We'll definitely be revisiting that at some point. That's that series. So thanks for the rec, my friends. Next book here was the book I got from Books A Million, and boy, do I have a story with this. So I do have a Books A Million membership. So basically, what that is a $25 a year membership that basically gets you 10% off all store purchases, which for me pays itself back pretty quickly, as you can imagine, and free shipping on everything on their website. And a fun thing too is when you do renew and sign up for another year, they do give you a $10 coupon. So really you're only spending like $15 for the year. So it's kind of a no-brainer for me, at least, you know, to keep that membership. And it's, you know, it's, aside from that, there's no additional costs. And again, 10% off everything, so you can't really beat that. So the coupon lasts for 30 days, and unfortunately, I'm not really close to any Books A Million near me that have a decent selection of comics, to be honest. So I went online and ordered a book, and that book was Manifest Destiny, Volume 7. I ordered this back on June 21st, and it shipped this week, which was pretty much like, I think it shipped around like July 20th, I want to say. So it basically took me a whole month to get this book, which isn't surprising. I've ordered from Books A Million before, and their distribution channels and their shipping and their warehousing is probably the worst I think I've dealt with any store. You know, even worse than like, you know, Book Outlet One, like on Amazon and on their website. I mean, this is the how slow it takes them to get books is just insane to me. But anyways, I did get this. I wasn't in any rush to get this because this still is an ongoing series, and I'm just collecting the volumes as they come out until the series is done, and then I'll read it through in its entirety. But yeah, this collects issues 37 through 42 of Manifest Destiny. This is volume 7, as I mentioned. And some really great art here going on. Again, this is kind of some Lewis and Clark spin-off, kind of crazy shenanigan stuff. That's the main gist, as you can imagine, right? Manifest Destiny, Lewis and Clark, Sacagawea, stuff like that. So, yeah, really need to pick this up at last. And I think there's only one more volume that has come out that collects material from the series. I don't think they're on volume 9 yet. I could be wrong. Maybe it has been solicited since the last time I checked, but that's kind of where I'm at with that. So I don't plan to read that for a while until I know that the series concludes and everything's collected in paperback and I can read it all the way through. So there's that. Next up here we have is another Epic collection that I picked up. This one was recently reprinted, and honestly, I don't know why I didn't pick this up when it came out originally, but now I have it, and that is the Punisher Epic Collection Circle of Blood. So this is volume 2 of the series. This collects issues 1 through 5 of the Punisher, I believe, volume 1 series. I'm not sure. Punisher 1987, numbers 1 through 10. Daredevil number 257. And Marvel graphic novel Punisher Assassin's Guild. So you can see here, this is one of the covers from that original series of Punisher. And from what I was thumbing through yesterday, it looks like he starts off, basically the initial Punisher series is him in jail, and I guess he gets out of jail, obviously. But just some really great art going on here. We got Mike Zeck, I believe, on this initial series here, if I'm not mistaken. Also Klaus Jensen at points, so some really great looking art here. Very dynamic. This is representing the 80s, the mid 80s of Punisher, 86 to 88. So we're definitely getting into a sweet spot for me, and at least when it comes to comic book writing and artwork. I think the mid to late 80s into the 90s is kind of like the sweet spot for me in terms of my enjoyment of the comics. So yeah, I think this will be a fun book to read through. Looks like it's gonna be a very quick read as well, so that's always really good. But yeah, I have a good amount of Punisher epic collections now. I do have Kingpin Rules, Return to Big Nothing, and Capital Punishment, which I want to say those are all the epic collections that have come out for Punisher. There might be 1 or 2 that I'm missing, but there honestly hasn't been a lot. So, you know, really hyped to get this. And unfortunately, this did have a price hike from the last printing. Last printing was, I think, at 40. This is at 50. So it is what it is. Inflation's affecting everything. So there's that. All right, another epic collection I got here, which honestly I was kind of surprised. It came back in print after being out of stock a little bit on in-stock trades. I know, ironically enough. But I went ahead and picked this up, and that is the Star Wars Epic Collection, The Rebellion Volume 4. So I might mention this on another haul video, but I've just committed to buying the Epic Collections for the series that I intend to collect as they come out, and hoping for reprints of other volumes at certain points, which I will say Marvel is getting around to reprinting some of the earlier epics for Star Wars. Specifically the Empire. I think we got reprints for Empire volumes 1 and 2 already, and I believe 3 might be getting 1 too. So I'm hoping that we get reprints for some of these Rebellion volumes. You know, I don't really have a lot of gaps now. Obviously, and I think the last haul video, the haul video before that, I did show volume 5 of the Star Wars Rebellion Epic Collection that I got. So the only one that I need here for that one is volume 3. The only other gaps I have, if you want to call them gaps, I guess, is volume 6 of the Empire. I'm missing that one, even though I know I've read some material in that, actually. And then for the New Republic, I have volumes 1 through 3, so just trying to find volumes 4, 5, you know, and up. I think there is one epic collection for New Republic that's readily available now to purchase, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at there. But yeah, it's getting to the point now where my epic collections for Star Wars have spanned into 2 shelves. So I definitely need to get reading on those. And, you know, I think like my marathon I'm planning now is probably when the next Star Wars movie is slated to come out. I think I'll start reading, like, I'll start with Empire and just read through Empire, Rebellion, and New Republic. Probably just read that stuff. Maybe go back and read the newspaper strips and the Rise of the Sith. But, you know, I don't think there's really a wrong or right place to start there with these epics. It's kind of just whatever era you want to jump into and read. It doesn't really matter. It's not like these books are very closely tied to each other, you know. So, but I guess I should probably tell you what's in here too, just so if you're curious what it's in here. This collects Star Wars Rebellion numbers 1 through 16, excuse me. Star Wars Boba Fett, Overkill, and Star Wars Boba Fett numbers 1.5, plus material from Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic / Rebellion number 0, and Star Wars Tales numbers 3, 15, 17, and 21. As you can see here, the back. Yeah, some really good artwork going on here. I think this is around the era of like 2006, I want to say, like 2006, 2007, I want to say. So this is material post Revenge of the Sith. So, you know, and then obviously like 5 years before Disney's acquisition of Lucasfilm and Star Wars. So there's that. All right, last book I have here, 21-minute video aside, is a book that I definitely wasn't going to purchase day one because it was a $125 omnibus, and I'm like, I don't want to pay that much money. Even with the discount IST, it would still bring it to like $77. I'm like, no thank you. So sure enough, waited, and it got discounted down to like $56. And sure enough, that's when I pulled the trigger, and that is the Thunderbolts Omnibus Volume 3. So I believe this is the last omnibus that we have for this series. I don't think we have anything after this. I don't think we're getting a Volume 4. I think this is pretty much it. This collects Thunderbolts 64 through 75, as well as 100 through 109, Avengers Thunderbolts numbers 1 through 6, and New Thunderbolts 1 through 18, and Thunderbolts presents Zemo Born Better numbers 1 through 4. So I believe this brings us up to the Civil War era, I want to say, of Thunderbolts, maybe even further past that. But you can see here the back. Really great book. I do have the first 2 volumes, obviously, and yeah, this is gonna be a real treat to read through all this stuff in preparation for the Thunderbolts film, which I'm assuming is being pushed back. I couldn't even tell you what the release date of it is at this point, but I think this read through will be very straightforward. 3 omnibus, you know, around 100 issues or so of material to read through. So I think it's gonna be really fun, really great time. You know, I'm glad I went this route rather than trying to hunt down the classic collections. You know, Marvel is starting to print epic collections for this line. So if you're curious about, you know, how to collect this series, I think the first 2 omnibus might be out of print, or one of them might be. But I would suggest, if you're looking to collect Thunderbolt stuff to prepare for the movie, if you want to read it or know more about the characters, which actually most of the characters that are in this book probably won't show up in the film, but you know, that's a whole other story, I guess. But yeah, I would say, you know, definitely go for the epics if you want to go that route. But for me, I'm really glad I got the omnibus here. Really fun to get that, and we really look nice on the shelf here. So there's that. So that is my comic haul here. A couple of nice additions here to the collection. And again, just filling in gaps in my stuff that I've already read that I've enjoyed, so really enjoying that. But anyways, that is the 25-minute video here for the comic haul. So let's go ahead and get into the Lego, which will be very quick. It's 1 set, so we'll go through that here right now. Alright guys, so I did have to back up the camera a little bit here just because the set I'm about to show you is pretty big. And story with this set, so initially when this set came out, I saw the price tag and I immediately told myself, no, I'm not buying it. It is way overpriced. I'm not going to spend the money on it. Not to mention, again, like I said, the value for the set was not worth the price of admission, obviously. So went ahead and kind of just blocked it out of my purchasing possibilities, I guess. And sure enough, I went on Lego.com probably a couple months ago, and I noticed the set was 40% off, and still was not convinced to buy it, which again is pretty shocking, I guess, for me, especially considering, you know, what the set is. And Amazon Prime Day just happened a couple weeks ago. I actually saw that set go for half off, and I still didn't pull the trigger on it because I was like, that's still not, you know, that's still too much money for me. And sure enough, I am thumbing through Walmart.com on the app the other day, and sure enough, I see this drop for $200 off, which is the lowest price I've ever seen this set drop. And I decided to pull the trigger on it. I thought that was probably the best deal I was ever going to get for this set. You know, that's over 50% off, which again, I've said this before a couple of times on this channel, but a Lego set going for more than 50% off is almost unheard of. You really have to get lucky with like clearances at stores to get that good of a deal for a set. And I sure enough got it, and it's really interesting because I went and checked the set again, like I think it was yesterday was when I received the set. You know, it was shipped to me. I got it in the mail, and sure enough, I went on the app today and yesterday, and sure enough, that set's back up to like an extra $120 more than what I paid for it. So I don't know how I got it for this good of a deal. It was really just something that just fell into my lap. I was just randomly looking one day and I saw it and I jumped on it. And that set is the Black Panther helmets, you know, bust set, set number 76215. So this set is huge. Again, I'll hold this up here. Yeah, I went ahead and grabbed this. Like I said before, this box is huge. Yeah, I wasn't gonna pay full price for this. I mean, this set came out for $350, which the consensus by the entire Lego community at the time was that this set was extremely overpriced. No minifigures, nothing really crazy exclusive about this set, really. And it's a shame because, you know, obviously Black Panther was played by Chadwick Boseman, who recently passed away. Well, I guess it's been 3 years since he passed away from colon cancer. So you would think they would have done a little bit better job with this set in terms of minifigures, overall design, and pricing. I think this was just a really almost insulting cash grab for them to price this set at $350 for something that represents an actor who did so much for the movie industry, for, you know, just people in general. He gave back so much to his community. You know, I think this would have been a really good set if it was just priced at a reasonable price. I think a lot of people would have bought it. Hell, like even if this was just like a helmet set of the Black Panther like helmet, like, you know, the cowl, I think, you know, like at like a $60 or $70 price range, I think that would have done way better than this whole arrangement here of the claws and the bust. But for $150, like I said, this is arguably the best deal I think I was ever gonna find for it, and I'm really happy I picked this up for $150. Another reason why I was hesitant to buy this too was because I was not sure where I was gonna put it in my collection. So hence the reason why I've rearranged some stuff in my collection here. So I'll put this down real quick, but you can see behind me in this expanded shot, I did go ahead and put the Nano Gauntlet and the Infinity Gauntlet into my bookshelves and kind of recessed some of those shelves back a little bit in terms of the books, just so I can fit those sets in there. But that has opened up some space for up top of the shelves for me to put this bust once I build it. And to be honest, I think that's probably the best spot for it because it's a huge set and I think it deserves that spotlight. It's going to go right next to my Daily Bugle and the Thor hammer. So a really nice combination of sets there to kind of highlight the Marvel stuff that I have in my collection. But yeah, overall, that's the set. I'm really glad I picked that up. I was telling, you know, Monica, my fiance, that this was probably the most money I've spent on a single Lego set in a really long time. I don't usually splurge this much on a set, but I mean, when the set was originally priced at $350 and I got it for $200 off, I mean, like I said, like I can't overstate enough how much of a deal that was. Yeah, it's just unheard of. And I'm sure people who collect Lego out there can attest. So, you know, Obviously, at the time of this recording and the time you'll be watching this, that sale probably won't be available, but I would definitely recommend keeping tabs on it through Walmart, Amazon, Lego. I'm sure this isn't the only time we're going to see discounted. I'm assuming this set will be retired at the end of this year, so if you still have thoughts about getting this set, I would definitely try to keep an eye on it for the rest of this year and see if it drops to that price point that you want to pull the trigger on it. But I guess what I will say is that it is going down in price. This, along with the UCS Hulkbuster set, are definitely getting steep discounts just because Lego is not selling enough of them and they need to discount it to move the product. So maybe that UCS Hulkbuster is next for me. You know, that one is even more expensive, so I'll have to wait for a better discount there. But yeah, really happy to get this, and I hope that the audio is loud enough since I'm like further away from the camera. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get into the outro for this haul video. Alright guys, so thank you again so much for watching this haul. So, you know, not a lot to show here, but this video will still end up probably being 35-40 minutes. But yeah, really excited to get this Black Panther Lego set. The books I got, you know, not too much, but a good amount of stuff to kind of round out some other parts of my collection. I feel like I say that every haul. I know I pretty much say that every haul, but anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this stuff, please consider giving this a like and subscribing to my channel. I do hauls like this pretty much every week, so if you want to go back and check out all of my previous hauls, you know, they're on this channel for you. But otherwise, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day here and a great week, and I will catch you on the flip side. Peace.